Hello, I'm Anatole, and this is my review of Big Little Lies Season 2, Episode 2, titled Telltale Hearts, and it scored 9.3 on IMDb. It is the second highest score that this show has received. The highest score is for Season 1, Episode 7. And the plot summary, courtesy of HBO. Renata faces an uncertain future when Gordon lands in legal trouble. Celeste opens up to Mary Louise about her relationship with Perry. Ed confronts Madeline about her secrets. And the first episode of this season was laying the groundwork. And this episode didn't waste any time, and it created upheaval among many of the characters, most notably Renata for one, and also Madeline for a second, for two. And what I liked is that characters who were only side characters in the first season, such as Renata and I believe it is Bonnie? Yeah, Bonnie, are given much more prominent role and even supporting characters. So Bonnie, we get to see her parents. And any character that has supporting characters is an important character. You can, in some ways, well, what actors used to do was count how many words they had in the script to see how important they were to the story. That's one metric. Second is how many other characters does that secondary characters support that character. So because Bonnie has been given now some supporting characters, it is a reflection of the increased heft that her character has in this season. And then apart from the way that the writer, David Kelly, has increased the role of some of the overlooked characters from season one, he has also, I think, begun to really dig into the theme of lies and the consequences of those lies. Because in season one, there were a few lies, and the title, as the title implies, some were very important, some were not so important, and the characters tried to get away with them. Now we start to see that these lies have consequences. Sometimes they're indirect, such as the PTSD that Bonnie is suffering from the death of Alexander Skarsgård's character. I can't remember his name, and the lies that she's telling to obscure that death, her involvement in that death. And then also we get to see that the children also are affected by these lies. And there's a little bit of a shift in emphasis, because in season one, even the children had their own little lie that they were dealing with. Instead, what we see here is that the big lies of the adults, the consequences those have on the children. So we get to see that Maddie's deceitful events in the past, the children are privy to that, and they also now play part in Maddie's turn because of the way that they have spilled those secrets and the consequences that happen from the children spilling those secrets. So we get to see that Ziggy learns about his father's true identity, because Maddie's daughter, I don't remember the name of the daughter. I just scrolled through IMDb trying to find the character's name, but her youngest daughter revealed the identity of Ziggy's father because she overheard Maddie talking about it. And then her oldest daughter, Catherine, inadvertently reveals to Ed that Maddie had cheated on him in the previous year. So all these lies are beginning to have these serious consequences on the characters. And then I also want to point out the effect that Meryl Streep's character, which is Mary Louise, is having on the show, because at this point in time we don't have an antagonist, and Mary Louise seems to be slotted into that role. But the interesting thing is she isn't doing anything but looking for justice, and so our sympathies should be on her. However, her inherent nature is very passive-aggressive, and we can get a glimpse of where the anger that Alexander Skarsgård's character possessed, where it came from. It came from the emotional abuse he suffered under his mom, but we can presume because we see her inflicting that emotional abuse on the people around her. And there's one really harrowing scene where she begins talking with Celeste about the way that Alexander Skarsgård abused her in the marriage, and Mary Louise's first instinct is to blame the victim and not believe anything that she's telling her. So we can see that she, even though she appears to be on the side of justice, she is not going to be entirely sensible. So she loses our sympathy because of that, at least in her quest for justice. And just, it's a pleasure to watch Meryl Streep tear it up. Even though it could have been a very broadly portrayed character, something that could have been two-dimensional villain, mustache twirling if she were a man, black top hat wearing. Instead, she still gives scenes little moments of truth and clarity. There's the scene where she's talking to Maddie, Reese Witherspoon, and she takes her necklace and she's nervously toying with it. And then she puts it over her lips and leaves it there and then pulls it down again. And rather than just looking like someone who's fidgeting, it looks like someone who's nervous about something significant, trying to hide it, trying to put it over her lips where she can't speak. So those little tells would not have been portrayed by another actress, because Meryl Streep is so masterful at what she does. She's able to give those little moments that reveal the inner emotion of the character, that read very clearly, they scan for us. And that's it. Those are my thoughts, my main thoughts about this episode. And I hope you enjoyed it, and you'll join me again on this channel for my next review. Take care and be well. Goodbye.